Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody isn't aware of this is a journey of investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at an update of the campaign with government offices, including Congress, as well as the House of Financial Services. We're also going to be looking at the Securities and Exchange Act 1934 and how that's important for Nexbridge Hydrocarbons as a private company, confirming that. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in terms of the market. So headline here from Wall Street Journal, Biden and McCarthy are set to resume negotiations on the debt limit. So this is very, very important. Obviously, if we do get a default, that will be quite bad in terms of the market. So Biden has previously indicated that he's confident that there will not be a default. So once these negotiations confirm that, I am expecting a significant bounce. And the other thing I'd like to do here is give a shout out here to Kevin Malone on Twitter, who's posted something quite interesting, and that is here it states the quiet part out loud, and that is former Citadel engineer on trading. The quote here from Patrick McConaughey as stated here, the game is not fair and it never has been. Individual investors, even when operating in a swarm, are destined to lose. How do I know? I helped design the game. So very strong statement there, and this is from a former Citadel engineer. So let's start by having a look at the Securities and Exchange Act 1934. So remember, in the FAQs just released by Nexbridge Hydrocarbons, they stated here in terms of a response to the question, is Nexbridge Hydrocarbons Incorporated a private company? And what they said here is Nexbridge Hydrocarbons is a private company insofar as shares of common stock are not traded on a public stock exchange. So they have confirmed it's a private company. Again, there are many people who are out there who are still denying that, even though the company have confirmed it. So let's have a look at the Securities and Exchange Act 1934 reporting requirements and why that insertion was added about public reporting. So the reason why it was added is because under this act, companies with publicly held securities as well as companies of a certain size. So that's two distinct things there. So publicly held securities, so that's everything on the OTC and everything on any other trading platform such as the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. Comma. So comma is for everybody who understands punctuation, is separating it into a separate point, as well as companies of a certain size. So that is where Nexbridge Hydrocarbons comes in. So Nexbridge Hydrocarbons has not been classified in this explanation as a publicly held security. So which means obviously it's a private company. It's a private, it's not trading on a public exchange, but it has to be reporting. So the reason why it has to be public reporting, that includes annual reports, quarterly reports, Form 10Ks, Form 10Qs, is because of the number of investors. So we know there are probably in excess of 64,000 investors officially. In reality, probably a lot more. And if they were to follow the rules with regard to private companies that do not reveal anything, then all these investors would get no information. So it's for the benefit of a mass number of investors that they have to comply with this public reporting. The next thing I'd like to share with you is something that was trending earlier in the United Kingdom, and we can see on the left hand side here three things that were trending on Twitter: FINRA, MMTLP, and also bull market. So this is something that I thought that was interesting. So what I posted in response to this is that I believe our voices are being heard and the nefarious actors are panicking like never before. We will not be silenced and we will be heard. So message for the SEC and Congress: your actions are going to determine the future of free and fair markets. So that was an important post there. And going back to the previous video, shout out here to WestXED. who stated, "Thanks Ali for another excellent update. In his opinion, if Nexbridge Hydrocarbons ever trades in the stock market, it will just become another small company, naked shorted into oblivion. There is no way it could be guaranteed to trade to close only. FINRA and the SEC cannot be trusted. They are the monster." And he hopes it remains private. So this is something that was covered in the previous video, and remember, if it does trade again, it must be with certain conditions. But if you also look at what was also previously shared, is that it can only happen with the company's permission. So that is not going to happen unless conditions are accepted. And finally, here in response to the previous video, shout out here to Danielle Spears. "Interesting, I'm not a legacy Torchlight holder. I only began buying in August 2022. She's transferred a portion of shares to AST in her name." So again, defying the logic of Rob. Let's now have a look at an update of the campaign. So shout out here to Hollywood Henry, who is representing Fair Markets Now. So in terms of where we are right now, I think we are at a critical stage, and what Henry is posting here is 244 government offices are involved in oversight and regulation of the markets and will receive the most comprehensive packet on MMTLP. So currently this packet is 39 pages. It also includes 50 photos of the faces of MMTLP. He's currently short on funds to ship these critical packets to Congress. So help is needed. So the website to give help here is fairmarketsnow.org/donate. So hopefully everybody who wishes to can go ahead and do that. Henry's also saying, 17 houses are meeting with FINRA. They need a copy of our packet ASP. So it is critical because obviously in the previous video, one thing that I did share, there is a meeting now planned for Friday between Congress and FINRA. So that's very important. So refer back to the previous video for details of that. So the packet is 39 pages, only 3 pages explain the issue. So obviously in terms of other developments from Henry, he's saying sending physical packets to 244 government offices. That includes 12,200 photos printed, 9,516 documents printed, as well as the relevant letters and the targets at the bottom. House of Financial Services, Committee on Finance, members of the Senate Banking, the SEC Regional Office, the SEC Speciality Office, and the 19 FINRA offices. I'm not sure how FINRA are going to react to that. And finally, just to clarify how they process the donations, it is through Stripe. Obviously, it's confidential with regard to your credit card details. He's only going to see your name and email, last 4 digits of the credit card. No other personal details will be shared, and hopefully a PayPal update coming soon. And finally, I'd like to finish off by giving a quick review of our weekly watch list. So in the previous weekly watch list, which was shared exclusively with the Discord members, these are some of the stocks that we called out. GETR, and that was up 28.9% on the week. So congratulations to everybody who got into that one. We also called out GSIT, that was up 27.7% on the week. BLBD, that was up 11.4% on the week and also up 8% on the Friday. NWSA was up 1.8% on the week. DRMA is another stock we called, up 10.5% on the week. SPRY, that was up 5.2% on the week and also up in excess of 10.6% on the Friday. CRGE we called out, that was up 5.4% on the week. EOSE was called out Monday and Thursday, and that was up 18% and 14%, but and was also up 5.85% on the week. PLSE was up 8% on the Monday from the dip, but did close down 17.6% on the week. So not all calls are successful. PXMD we also called out as a high risk stock, potential squeeze. Did go down significantly, but closed up nicely on the Friday, up 10%, so potentially another one to watch. And we also called out BFI, that was down 1.4% on the week. So if you would like to get the next weekly watch list, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.